This is Movietone. Leslie Mitchell reporting. In Paris, Britain's Foreign Secretary is grappling with many difficulties at the Big Four conference, and it remains to be seen whether the Russian attitude will be adjusted towards the solution of the urgent problems or not. Italian colonies and the question of Trieste are only two of the big obstacles to be negotiated. But of course, if you were to judge only by the apparently cordial atmosphere in this picture, you might think Mr. Burns, Mr. Molotov, Monsieur Bidot, France's new premier, and Mr. Bevin were bound to agree on every point. Anyway, let's hope that results will be obtained by the goodwill and compromise, in which case the general outlook will be greatly brightened. These are certainly fateful days, and India is in the foreground of the world picture. Gandhi, though a sick man, continued to play his tremendously influential part while the Congress Working Committee studied the British Cabinet mission's proposals. Equally prominent was Pandit Nehru, seen here with Mrs. Naidu. Nehru has since been running into trouble in Kashmir. Gandhi, after resting, goes to evening prayer and addresses hundreds of untouchables outside the temple. India's future history is being written now. In New York, the first meeting of the United Nations Atomic Commission. Mr. Baruch states America's proposals about the destruction of existing atom bombs and the future international control of atomic energy and research. Behind the black portent of the new age, he said, lies a hope which, seized upon with faith, can work our salvation. Mankind agrees, but agreement by the representatives of nations is quite another thing. For the Soviet, Mr. Gromyko had a counter-proposal to offer, and the discussion continues. Buenos Aires. Colonel Peron, Argentina's new president, receives the baton and sash of office from the retiring president, General Farrell. So a new regime starts in the Argentine, and the first big event was the resumption of diplomatic relations with Soviet Russia. Just one more instance showing how all over the globe domestic politics react upon the international outlook. Russia shakes hands with Argentina as Colonel Peron takes over. Italy, too, has recently made her decision. Out with the monarchy was the majority vote. But after the proclamation of the Italian Republic, the argument was resumed. These are scenes of the somewhat violent monarchist demonstrations in Rome. While Umberto hesitated before going into exile, his ardent supporters started these riots in Rome and Naples. But law prevailed, and it would seem that some of those Italians reluctant to abide by the election result had a pretty uncomfortable time.